Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome back to Ultima Underworld. Last time, we found the grave of Corianus, the Master Builder, and fought some goblins. Corianus' grave, of course, being behind a jumping puddle, which is perfectly normal for graves. I'm sure we've all had the experience of having to pull a bunch of levers and jump on a bunch of moving platforms to lay flowers on some loved one's grave. We also spoke again to King Ketcheval, who refused to give us a quest or any reward for fighting the spiders, and we fell foul of another bunch of goblins. You can see the results of our battle there, so goblins aren't really in my good books at the moment. However, there is a second tribe of goblins, the Green Goblins, which I believe must be around here somewhere, because we've explored the rest of the abyss. I mean, not the rest of the abyss, of course. I mean, we've explored the rest of this level of the abyss. Except that little island down there. There's leaping boldly into this little island which has nothing on it whatsoever. Oh no, it's got some leeches. Well, I heartily recommend a course of leeches, which may come in handy if and when we get poisoned again. But I think for the moment, my priority will be to get out of this water. Again, I find myself swimming. No, I'm still not going to put skill points into swimming. I should not have any trouble getting out of this. Right. And we're back here with the abyss. We're back here near the chasm we had to jump over to get to the outcasts. So, having filled in a little bit more of the underground river, we shall nip back, pausing only to not say hi to Braggett. Get out of the way, Braggett. We shall nip back. I'm in fairly good shape. 36 vitality, 6 out of 12, well, 50% Mars, not too bad. Fed and drowsy, I'll need to sleep soon. I think I will be able to stay awake for long enough to talk to the Green Goblins at least. Then it's down to level 2 for further fun and frolics. According to the outcasts, the Mountainmen live on level 2, so we'll find out what they're about in due course. Right, at the moment, by process of elimination, the Green Goblin should live somewhere about here, behind this banner of Cabarrus, and behind this portcullis. A mellow goblin named Drock. Hello, Drock.
Yes, what's your business here?
Oh, I wish to be the splendour of thy settlement, I suppose.
This is best place to see when you see Abyss. King Vernix, he the bravest in whole underworld. You go see him if he see you.
Oh, thank you, Drock. Nice little bench to sit on if I felt like sitting on a bench. Green Goblins are reasonably friendly as well. Again, I know they don't like each other very much, and they don't like large troops of armed men clumping about the abyss, but they don't seem to mind. Me. This is very pleasant. Little fountains. The water refreshes you, though not to the extent of getting me any more hit points. Yeah, this is very pleasant. I'd say the Green Goblin settlement is even slightly nicer than the Grey Goblin settlement. They've got a nice little courtyard here with some fountains and some pillars. And I think like the Grey Goblins, I've got to ramp up to raised area where the goblin aristocracy live. So, marble floor even. I think the Green Goblins after the tribe split off got the nicer part of the nicer quarters. A mellow goblin. He doesn't merit a name, so I won't bother talking to him. Who's this guy? A mellow goblin. An upset goblin. Presumably the upset goblin is the one guarding the keep out. I see a sturdy door. Stone wall, someone's bed. And the obligatory goblin privy, which I shan't investigate too closely. And what have we here? Hello, goblin named Lanugo. Who are you, Lanugo?
To be not bothering the boss, eh?
Well, that was kind of the idea, was to bother the boss. Why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah, well, I could do that, but the boss don't like to be bothered with, like, practical stuff. His mind is on the higher things.
Perhaps I could give thee a small gift to show my appreciation. Just a little bribe there.
Thanks. That right enough for a human? Tell the what, if the talks to the boss, be real like complimentary. He likes that.
I shall take that under advisement, Lanugo, thank you.
Sure thing. Hey, gotta go. Time for me to start dinner. You want to stay? It's worm stew tonight, my speciality.
No worm stew?
Aye, me mother used to make it. They takes a rotworm, chops it up fine, and marinates it in pork with mushrooms. Yeah, 'tis all writ down on this.
Thank you kindly, Lanugo. A recipe for worm stew. The recipe for worm stew requires port, a green mushroom, a dead rotworm, and a bowl to mix them in. I've got most of the ingredients already, except for port, which is rather difficult to combine. Rotworm stew, no less. So, I ate it by accident. The rotworm course tastes quite bland, but has an interesting texture. A tasteful flavouring would help it greatly. Well, should I come across any more rotworms, I shall try making one of them into a stew. So, rotworms, unique among all creatures in the abyss, leave an actual corpse when they're killed. And now I have a recipe for rotworm stew. Do you reckon at some point later on in my adventure, knowing how to make rotworm stew might come in handy? Anyway, a fellow goblin named Vernix.
Yes?
Greetings, Goblin Lord.
Clearly thou art a boor, unfit for the gentle company present here. Away with thee until thou hast learned to ape the manners of thy betters.
Hey. I beg your pardon, your majesty. I had not expected to meet such nobility here.
Well, perhaps thou canst be forgiven. This place is full of the most frightfully rude people. Thou mayst remain. What is thy need?
Well, let's follow Lanugo's advice and be real like complimentary. Merely to partake in some small manner of thy vast knowledge.
True, I am rather wise, come to think of it. What dost thou wish to know?
Obviously, this is Vernix's whole deal. If you just come straight out and ask him what you want to know, he'll get very annoyed that you aren't flattering him enough. If you layer it on with a trowel, he'll tell you all you wanted to know anyway. So, how came you by this gorgeous cloak?
It does suit me, doesn't it? I had it made specially for me. One simply doesn't find work like this underground. Well, perhaps the mountain folk do make a few nice things, but they tend towards metals rather than clothes. And of course the seers, the ancient illuminated seers of the moonstone they call themselves, they do nice work too. But they generally tend more towards the literary than the sartorial arts.
And this hall, it is most beautiful. Actually, it is fairly snazzy, to be honest.
Well, one does what one can. Of course, those awful grey goblins took all the really nice things with them when they stole away in the night. This was after Sir Kabyrus died, you know, when things were falling apart, and we've had to make do since then. One of these days I'm going to get some poison into Ketchafal or his ugly wife, which amounts to the same thing. He's terribly henpecked, you know. And then we'll see what's what. King of the grey goblins, indeed.
I see that you're at least just as racist as the grey goblins.
Why? He's an upstart. His father was a horse thief. But enough of that. You wanted to know something. How can I help you?
It's very kind to take time to meet. No. It is very kind of thee to take time to help me, your majesty.
Oh, mention it not. It's so seldom that I get a chance to speak to a really intelligent person. I mean, our allies, the lizard men, are nice enough, but the poor fellows can't speak a word of the common tongue. They understand it well enough, but the poor things don't have the mouth to speak it. And the language is so difficult. I know Seth and click mean yes and no, but I don't know which is which. Then there are the notes of the crooks and Sata. They can talk well enough, but all they ever say is how many trolls they've killed. Frightful bore, even if it does keep the pest population down. Both kinds of pests, knights and trolls, you know.
It must be a trial, even for one as noble as yourself.
Oh, indeed it is. Sometimes I wonder how I even manage. It wasn't always like this, you know. When Sir Cabarrus was alive, things were ever so much better. He had all of us working together so well. A born leader was that man. When he founded this colony, you could have made a voyage anywhere in Britannia that it wouldn't work, but he made it so. I still think one of those bastard Greys must have done him in. There were certain items, too. Well, I suppose it will do no harm to tell thee. Sir Cabarrus collected 8 great talismans, each embodying a certain virtue. He was a great one for virtue, was our Cabarrus, and it was well known that he intended them to come to the leaders of the various groups here in the Abyss. Well, we never saw them. If they still exist, they must be lost. But I must be boring thee.
I could listen forever, your majesty, but I've taken enough of your time.
Well, bless you, you're such a charming conversationalist. Please do visit again.
Right, so interesting character Vernix, but he does actually have more useful information than anybody else I've encountered down here in the Abyss so far. You just need to know the right approach to take. It's a little bribe to his bodyguard, and I got the most out of him. So we've learned of the talismans. 8 talismans embodying 8 virtues. What's the betting they're going to be significant later on?
Here we go. What do you want now?
Nothing, thank you. I'm just leaving. You're not as polite as your boss. Right. So much for the Green Goblins. Just note it down, but I suspect there will be much use. Green Goblins. So, I'll start Flesh Slug. Just clobber the Slash Slug. Be clobbered, Flesh Slug. Flesh Slug. It's not easy to say. Flesh Slug, Flesh Slug, Flesh Slug. Right. And it is no more. The foul tongue twister is defeated. I see a box. How many? None. Ah. Some runes. Handy, okay. Some Marnie stone and an Elam stone. Just put them in my rune bag. How's my rune collection? A little bigger than it was a little while ago. Anyway, we've learned a little more about the lay of the land. We've gone the wrong way. We have discovered, apart from the talismans, which we will keep an eye out for because they will no doubt be significant later on if Vernix was talking about them. We've learned of several new groups in the Abyss. Apart from the mountain folk downstairs, we have the lizard men, who are allied with the Green Goblins. We have the Knights of the Crooks and Sata. We have no sense of direction still. Come on, confused dude. You're not that confused. We're going north. We're going north and to the stairs down. The more salubrious of the two ways I know of to get downstairs. Right, and it's off to the right here. The Knights of the Crux Ansata, a group of trolls. The knights and the trolls like to beat each other up, not surprisingly. And the ancient illuminated seers of the Moonstone, I believe I call themselves. Anyway, I wonder what adventures await us downstairs. See a finished oak wall, and a rough floor, and a maze, a timber maze. So, oops, I hear the foot of a beastie sneaking around. Hey, acid slugs. More annoying, but easier to say. Ah. Dead end. Oop. That I will have. You can go in my gem bag. More acid slugs. Vermin. Verminous vermin that you are. Come down to level 2 and I'm immediately faced with a maze and some acid slugs. Not much of a welcome. There's a door. I've explored the rest of this map. I've explored all the maze. Oops. Right, here are the stairs that go up. Finished oak wall, indeed. Wasn't expecting to see oak walls down here. Ah, stupid acid slug. These are not very tough. Ow! Oh, what's this? I hear you footing around. Alright. I thought I heard you flitting around. What have we here? Marble walls. Something significant. A shrine. A shrine accessible without a jumping puzzle. That's something new. I shall note that down. Shrine. If I knew any useful mantras, I'd level up at it. Fed and drowsy. These secret doors around here. It's a sort of place where you would expect to find secret doors, but I don't see any. Let me just see some oak walls. That's the back of the... No, okay. Time to leave this rather incongruous oak maze. Here's a corridor. Here's a door. Stone walls, doors. Excellent leather gloves. Somebody just left lying around and not claimed. An oil flask. Right. Oil else could be useful? Right, that's the end of that. Still hear noises. Yeah. The banner of Cabarrus. Don't see anybody. Friendly mountain man called Brawn Clan. Ah. So, they're short, they have beards, they like mining. They're basically dwarfs, aren't they? It's been a long time since we of the folk have seen one such as ye, be an outcast from above or an outsider. I'm attempting to rescue a kidnapped girl. Aye, I heard of such a thing. The abyss isn't a safe place these days, I tell ye. Perhaps some other of the folk might know more about that. Is there anything else I can help you with? You could let me through this portcullis. Very well, you seem a reasonable sort. Just mind your manners and you'll ne'er have trouble with the folk. Now, before you meet the rest of the clan, is there anything else you'll be wanting? Has he got anything to trade with? No, not really. Badly worn chain cowl. No, he's got nothing. Nothing useful. I don't want to barter any further. According to ancient tradition, all dwarfs, dwarf-like characters, must have a Scottish accent. The only trouble is I can't do a Scottish accent to save my life. Supply room, please partake freely. And they lock the door very well. The door is locked. Steady door. Quarters of Corby. He's not a dwarf, he's a fighter. Hast thou come to add to my torment? Of what torment dost thou speak? Why, the torment of lost hopes, of disillusionment. Emo. Can I help? Well, I am beyond thy help. Nah, none are truly hopeless. Wait, my cause is lost, but perhaps I can yet help thee. Can you tell me about Sir Cabarrus then? I shared the great dream of Sir Cabarrus that the Avatar's way could be pursued by all folk. We sought to gather all intelligent species here in the Abyss and teach them to live in harmony. Alas, it was not to be. The constant bickering proved too much for kindly Sir Cabarrus, and he perished in his sleep. Some have said he was poisoned, but I know he died of a broken spirit. His life's work was in this place, and as he watched it crumble, his heart broke as well. Terrible waste. Nothing good come of it? Well, aye. Sir Cabarrus did gather a number of artefacts with interesting properties. He thought the use of these artefacts might assist the colonists as they pursued the way of the Avatar. Unfortunately, the objects were misused by the folk he hoped to help. How so? Each of the 8 items gathered by Sir Cabarrus embodied one of the virtues, but those who now possess the items keep them merely for their intrinsic value, not their higher purpose. I have a suspicion that I shall at some point be finding these artefacts. Is that all I has to say? Get thee gone from here. Right. Fair enough. Oh, my torch has gone out again. Have I got any torches left? Got a few. Right. Well, you're a bit of a miserable git, aren't you, Corby? I shall leave you to your torment. Don't be tormented over there. Right. Quarters of Mondor. Who's Mondor? Mondor is a friendly mountain man. Ah, ye must be confused, dude, of whom I've heard. What can I do for you? I want information. Ah, Shaq may be the one you want. A smith he is, and knowledgeable in the ways and workings of his trade in the world. King Goldthirst you could seek out too, if you wish to gain his favour. Perhaps one of them knows of a kidnapped girl. Terrible, ain't it? I hear a troll carried her below. I hope all turns out well for ye. Up here we have enough problems of our own. What problems were these? You going to refuse to give me a quest? Maybe ye can help us. Our mines in the southeast have been invaded by a fearsome beast floating in the air with many tentacles. If ye can defeat it, all mountain folk will be eternally grateful. Right, fine enough, fair enough. I'll be off and slay it. Eventually. Spoiler alert, the beastie in the mines is kind of bad news, and I don't think I'm equipped to fight it yet, but sooner or later I'll be off and slaying it. And what's down here? A door. A massive door which is locked. So this looks kind of like the main hall of the Mountainmen. See a friendly Mountainman. These are actually friendly, not only mellow. You see 17 coins belonging to a Mountainman. And this is King Goldthirst. Guess what his whole deal is? Greetings, traveller. I am Goldthirst, leader of the mountain folk. Welcome to our hall. Thank you, Dwarf King. Call me that again, and the tongue shall wag without the head around it. Right. So, upset mountain man now. They're blatantly dwarfs, but they don't like being called it very much. Okay, let's talk to Goldthirst. Oh, 'tis thee again. Is there a reason for the visit? I'm in search of adventure. Perhaps we can help each other. I have need of such an adventurer as thyself. Our mines have been invaded by a terrible monster. Indeed, perhaps I can help. Excellent! A hero at last! My people, at least those not too valuable to lose, are all too afraid of the beast to dare face it. It is a fearsome beast, covered with tentacles and with many eyes. If thou art brave enough and you slay the creature, I shall reward thee handsomely. It shall be done. He's still upset with me. I called him a dwarf. So this is the literal hall of the Mountain King. It's a steady door. The door is locked. Just don't mind me, Your Majesty. A friendly mountain man named Steeltoe. Halt! Who goes there? I am confused, dude. What is thy business here? I'm just looking around. We'll have no exploring here. Now, off with you. Fair enough. Right, he's guarding something important, is he? Isn't he? He's less friendly than he was. Nope. Locked door. This is a fairly impressive hall they've got for themselves, but I suppose being mountain men are definitely not dwarfs. They know how to excavate and build things. Here's the obligatory pool with a fountain. Water refreshes me. I need a 47. Did I go up a level and not notice it? I'll have to double check that. Who's this? Supply room, please partake freely. Ah, yes, but that was locked. Friendly mountain man. Right, so that's it for the mountain man's main hall, I think. Ooh. And the door closes behind me. I'm Ironwit. Hello, Ironwit. Ach, me blueprints! Come back to me after all these years! No, that's not me blueprints, it's a human. What's this? Have you me blueprints? Ach, me blueprints! Where can they have gone? What are you talking about? For sure you're not me blueprints then. Never uttered a word, did they? And yet ye've a tongue for sure. Dumb they were, mute as the rocky hewed with a raid. But still I miss them sorely. Perhaps ye can find them for me. I can try, I suppose. Find me blueprints! Ach, that would be a good deed indeed. Somewhere about they are. In the storeroom, most likely. The southeast of me complex, methinks. Or is that where the storeroom is? Here, I'll give ye a set of blueprints of the area so that ye can find your way about. Ach, me blueprints! Where'd they go? Ye seem to be a fine lad. Perhaps ye can find them for me. All right, yes, I'd be happy to. A right good lad ye are. In the storeroom I think the blueprints are. But you cannot fly, can ye? Ach, that's a problem. The storeroom is high up. There's a flying potion somewhere, in the spiral room. Ach, but that's locked. The trouble ye put me through. I don't know why I'm helping ye. Your help is much appreciated, Ironwit. Ach, speaking of help, you could help an old man greatly by finding me blueprints, if you could. Now, where was the key to the door of the spiral room? In the golden maze room, methinks. Ach, yes, it's the golden path ye must follow, or else ye may be poisoned. No, that's the poison potion in the spiral room. Or was it a flying potion? Maybe both potions. Ach, that's it. There's more than one potion? Wait, don't rush me. One potion is green and the other red. Or is one red and the other green? Yes, that's it. One red and one green, no doubt of it. One of the two is a flying potion and one is poison. Or is it the other way round? Ach, now I've forgotten again. Och, that's it. Green is good. Or was it red is rotten? Well, do your best, won't ye? And while you're in the area, if you happen by me blueprints, bring them back here. I think I may have left them in the storeroom. Feel free to help yourself to anything else you find, though. I'll follow your directions as best I can. Right, so there's a reason this dude is called Ironwit. And he has quite the complex behind him. Right. So, I'm sorry, confused dude. It doesn't look now like you're the most confused person in the abyss. I'm pretty sure that Ironwit's a good deal more confused than you are. Anyhow, we will help Ironwit and his extremely dodgy Scottish accent find his blueprints, I believe, next time. And until then, confused dude and I will bid you bye-bye.